This episode of Christmas Countdown is brought to you by Real Christmas Tree Board. Check them out at realchristmastreeboard.com.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Welcome to the Christmas Countdown Show. My name is Eric Petersen. I'm one of your hosts here with my good buddy Danny Jordan.
Danny Jordan.
I don't know why he came out.
AI is now introducing
That's
me
right,
over
Danny
here.
Jordan. And here we have our good friend Chris Cicely from Brooklyn. Now, Chris is here, and we also have Emilio over there.
Emilio.
Hello, Emilio. Look at Emilio today. Today, Emilio looks like he's with his old friend Barney.
Oh, there he is. I wondered when he was going to go back to this.
For those of you that don't know, Emilio was on the TV show Barney as a child. And so now, Emilio, you have to put yourself with your own self.
Yes. It has to be a scene
it's
that
It's
he's
a little
in.
time travel moment there for you.
Are we going to get into like clearance issues with that? Maybe just put like a big purple blur over
they'll get the picture.
the
They'll get
guy.
picture.
Yeah.
But welcome to the Christmas Countdown Show, everybody. You've made it. This is what episode are we on even?
5.
Episode 5,
Cinco.
Season 4.
Yes.
And we have a great list for you today. We have the first half of top 10 tips and tricks for the holiday season for your parties.
We're really getting ahead of ourselves today.
But I think it's good. I think it's good to plan ahead.
Well, I was
so that
talking
you-
about you telling people what the theme
yeah.
is. Yeah.
Yes, I did. I got right to the theme because
now we're gonna do the
usually it
countdown.
takes
Thank
about
you, folks.
45 minutes.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of the listener.
True.
Trying
Fair.
to think of the listener.
People like to know what's
They
coming.
like to
You've
know what
always
they're
said
in
that.
for. Yes,
And I
yes.
think you're right.
But yeah, so here we are. We have got a great list today. We got some fun. It looks like we have some mail to open.
Oh, yes, we
We
do.
have memes and things finally,
Oh,
which
my
is
gosh.
exciting. We have some Christmas news, some reviews.
A lot.
Yeah, things
And
are
us.
good. And us, and here we are.
Yeah, there's a lot to catch up on. So welcome if you are new to the show, because we know as we start to get into November, a lot of new people start to discover the show, which is amazing. It happens every single year. We basically see like week 2, 3 of November. That's when people really start getting into the holiday
season, yeah.
vibes. You get past, Remembrance Day or Veterans Day, and people are like, okay, now I'm in the holiday season. So welcome to all new people around the world, wherever you are at. We're so thrilled you found us. Please make sure you tap that subscribe button wherever you are listening. That way you don't miss a single episode. Plus, you can go back and listen to our whole back catalog.
Yeah.
If you're like, oh my gosh,
This show's great.
this is the greatest show that's ever been. How has it taken me years to discover it? Well, good news, friends. This is like when a show explodes like yours on
Sure,
Netflix.
yeah.
And you get like really into the first episode and you're like, wait, I can immediately go listen to like 80 more
Yeah.
right now. You're welcome.
It's an exciting time.
So please make sure you subscribe. You can also rate and review. If you're listening on Apple, those ratings and reviews, believe it or not, actually do a lot to ensure that more people discover our show and find the joy and light and merriment that we're bringing here on Christmas Countdown. So please make sure you do that. And we did get a note from somebody the other day. They were like, I'm still trying to figure out how to leave a review on Spotify. And it's not like a traditional review. It's basically like if you're on like an episode page, you can scroll down and there's like a comment section.
Sure.
So
it'll
leave
get
it.
to us.
It'll get to us. We see all of that on the back end. So if you're liking what you're hearing, heck, if you're like lukewarm on what you're hearing,
Just
let us know. We will share it here on the show. And if you are not following us on social media, please make sure you do so. We are at Christmas Countdown Show on Instagram, TikTok, Threads. You can also watch full episodes, which I know a lot of people have been messaging us lately. They're like, I don't know why I wasn't watching these sooner. They're all on youtube.com/countdown network, or just click, there's a link in our episode notes. It'll take you directly there. It'll also take you directly to our shopping guides and all the other fun stuff that we make available to you guys. Playlists on Spotify. Yeah. We got a ton of that stuff as well.
We got merch. You can get merch.
We got merch. I'm wearing some of our merch
some of it
here
right
today.
now.
I love this design.
It's a good one.
So much. It's the old GOT,
That's right.
Game of Thrones inspired thing that says Christmas is coming.
I remember coming up with that.
I know.
Yeah,
and then it's a cool design. It's got a reindeer on it.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for some original holiday merch that you're not finding elsewhere, go to ChristmasCountdownShow.com.
And we're going to put some new stuff up this season, too.
We are. Yeah. We have some fun stuff coming. We have some, not only fun merch coming, but we have like a big like company thing.
We do.
Coming very, very soon.
Yeah.
I don't want to tease it just
Not
yet.
Not yet.
Because like...
Not yet.
Yeah.
it's
everyone's
still
like,
still in the
tease it
works.
just a little bit. Give us a little spoilies.
It's in the works.
It's in the works,
Yeah.
but it's going to be amazing.
Yes.
And I think people are going to love that thing.
We should also talk about, while we're like promoting stuff, that
Yeah.
we're doing a live show
Yes.
coming up on November 30th.
30th. It's the 2 days after Thanksgiving.
2 days after Thanksgiving in Big Bear, California. So if you live in Southern California or can get to Southern California, we would love to see you. We're going to record a live episode for a live studio audience, which is going to be very exciting.
I'm like a little nervous, like thinking about it already, because I'm like, when it's us, it's like we got Chris, we got Emilio, we got Miles is sort of hanging out here today. But like, I don't know, a room full of people and maybe people who don't know us, like that's gonna
that is true, because I'm very curious, will people come,
right?
And those that do, will they be fans of the show already, or will they be people that are wandering around Big Bear for the holiday season and are like, oh, I can go to a taping of a. But we have a lot of inside jokes. We talk about Emilio in his chair a lot, and so if you're just joining us, just get on the train. You'll catch up.
Yes, exactly.
And hopefully those people will too.
But that's the fun of it, right? When you discover something and you're like, why is that funny?
Yeah.
You want to go back and find like we have so many inside jokes on this show. We have so many inside jokes, we've forgotten about our inside jokes. Like, do you remember season 1, we would always say, oh, I Chris missed that opportunity.
Yeah.
We said that was like a thing, and we did that all the time, and we haven't done that in a while.
And your jingle bells used to...
Dude, I put them next to me today to remember to jingle the bells. Remember that one episode I brought like 4 sets of jingle bells?
I do, yeah.
And I wanted you to rate my jingle bells.
The sound of the jingle bells?
Yeah. Here's some jingle bells for you guys. Right? These are kind of tinny.
They're a little tinny.
I'm not wild about them.
I still go back. If you go back into a previous episode, I brought in my really good jingle bells that I got. Where did I get them? I got those in Boston.
That's right.
But they were like real sleigh bells. And then they're on a big, thick leather strap. And they just have such a deep, those still are on our front door. So anytime anybody opens the door, we hear.
Those are hardy.
They are very hardy bells.
You need hardy bells.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, lots of inside jokes. So if you're new to the family and you're trying to keep up with all of the Emilios and the Chris's and all the things, go back. You can catch up. Or if you're already caught up, whatever, you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But the live show is going to be super fun. We'll put the link to the ticket purchasing page in our episode notes so you can check it out. Big Bear is honestly one of the best places, I think, in Southern California to celebrate the holiday.
I've never been up there at Christmas. I've only been to Big Bear once, and it was at 4th of July.
But seeing how it looks in non-Christmas season, could you imagine
I can imagine it's going to be spectacular.
Oh, yeah. My kids are already like
perfect
Daddy,
lake town.
They're like, is it going to be snowing? And I'm like, it may not be actively snowing.
But there will be snow on the ground.
But they got snow there a couple weeks ago already. Plus, they have multiple ski lifts there. There's Bear Mountain and Snow Summit, so they've got snow there, and you can go sledding. So we're going to do all of that.
Amazing.
And here's the good thing about if it doesn't snow, the cabin we're staying in, butts up against a little thing known as a golf course.
Yeah.
So could this be? Could this be the time if we stay on a golf course and do not go golfing?
At least play one hole.
Yeah.
We'll just we'll just go.
We'll just run out there,
that hole.
best ball, throw our ball in the middle of the fairway, just do an approach shot, putt it, and we finally played golf.
We did
together.
Golf together.
It only took us 4 years, but go us.
Another inside joke.
Yeah, that's what we do here. That is what we do. Speaking of people who are sort of on the inside,
yes,
I want to give a shout out to some new Patreon people.
Patreon.
Do you want to take those ones?
Yeah,
people who
we want to
just
welcome some of our new members. We got Monty and Carl. No, Carl of the Bells.
Yes.
That's pretty good. Is that how Carl listed himself?
That's exactly how Carl.
Carl of the Bells. Carl, you are our kind of person because you get it.
It totally gets it.
You belong here.
I'm like, how do I Christmify my name?
Oh, that is pretty good. Yeah.
Right? Danny.
We'll workshop this off the air.
I know. I like when we try to we have
Come
no
up
plan.
With a great idea.
Sometimes it works out really well.
Yes, but my instinct is always if it doesn't happen right away, then we'll do it off.
That's life.
That
is life.
You gotta do.
But welcome, Monty's also a great.
Yes, Monty is a great name. Yeah. I imagine Monty to be an older gentleman who sits in a nice leather chair with a pipe, and he listens to our podcast, and he's like, it's time to listen to the Christmas Countdown show.
Yes.
And his wife's name is like
Lorelei,
bring me my scotch. I'm listening to my Christmas.
And he's got like a robe on, a silk robe, most
silk
likely.
Robe that ties oddly high. It's like high, it ties like
it's how he lives his life.
That's how he lives his life. He's comfortable in his leather chair with his pipe.
Does
and
he
he's
have
got
leather slippers?
Loafers,
House
slippers.
House
House slippers.
Yeah.
And he's got a small pencil-thin mustache, Monty. Monty's
Oh,
like,
Monty, please send us a picture.
yes, please tell us that that's what
And
you
if
look
you
like.
don't look like that, dress up as that
Yes.
and send us that
Yes,
as well.
please do.
Because that would be amazing. But welcome to our new Patreon people. The bonuses of signing up for Patreon is you get one bonus episode. Speaking of bonuses, every other Friday we send out new episodes, which are an extension of the countdowns we do here on the show. Plus, you get ad-free versions of every episode. We have some welcome swag we send out to people. Depending on what level you sign up for, you might get an ornament or a discount code for our shop we were just talking about. So it's definitely something you want to look into. Not required, but it's there, and it's a nice way to just connect with more people like you who love Christmas. We have this private Facebook community, and I know there's a greeting card exchange that's going on right now, and it's really become like this hub of love and support and positivity where people from all walks of life come together, and we know
countries,
people,
too.
all countries, Ireland and England and Canada, and people have gone through hardships and been there for one another. So if you're looking to connect,
We've even had people meet up in person.
yes,
Remember when two of our
it was
listeners,
Nikki and Jen,
Nikki and Jen,
who are
met.
also coming to the live show.
Are they really? That's
Yeah.
great. I love that.
Yeah, and
So,
Lizzie's coming from the Patreon. She's going to be at the live show. Yeah, that's gonna be one of my favorite parts of the live show, is getting to meet all these incredible
amazing
people in person. But yeah, that's our little Patreon shout out for
Shout
this
out.
week.
We
Yeah.
should read some reviews. I think we got a
Let's.
couple reviews to
We
read
do.
today. So this first one, this is a great title because we can't read the full title, and I love trying to think what this is. This is from Heroic Villain 12, which is an interesting
a little
I almost said stage name. Screen name?
handle.
Screen
Yeah,
handle.
why not? AIM.
Yeah, there we go. AIM. It says their voices don't match I'm going to say their faces.
100%.
Their voices
Yeah.
don't match their faces, which is interesting. It is funny. There have been people that have reached out and been like, they've seen our show art,
Right.
and they think that this is me and this is you,
Which is wild.
which is wild because
Like-
I feel like we look we're different types.
I've been with my voice since it changed when I was like 16.
Yes.
Like this is my. So I when people send us that message, I think, what would I be like if my voice sounded like Eric?
Yeah.
So if you're one of those people who's curious who is who, well, that's another reason to go to the YouTube.
come to the live show.
Yeah, and come to the live
there
show.
You go.
Yeah.
So Heroic Villain left us. I have to count them. 1, 2, 3, 5 golden stars. Thank you. It says, "Hey guys, Deej here. Deej. Probably like DJ.
Maybe this is Candace Cameron.
Maybe." Hey guys, Deej here. Excellent show. Love Christmas and all that you do. Sorry for the attention grabber title, but it's true. I can't figure out why I'm always so unbelievably surprised when I tune into the YouTube show after listening a while by audio only. It cracks me up every time. Keep going. You're my Christmas soulmates. And hey, one more thing. You never talked about the mashed potato stuffing patties that you pan fry the day after Christmas or Thanksgiving dinner. Cheers, mates. Merry Christmas. Wait a second.
Did
Mashed
you do that?
potato stuffing patties.
Did you do that?
Yes. Wait, did I?
I don't know.
Mashed potato.
We were like winging it season 1.
Yeah.
And you and I, as we know.
Do we think this is when it was referred to?
Well, I know there was an episode where we talked about like why isn't there tissue paper that looks like stuffing? Because you could stuff your gifts full, and we thought that was really, really
Yeah.
cute. But I do remember you talking about like something to do with leftovers, and I feel like you said maybe like you took mashed potatoes, or maybe it was like an idea we had of like how great that would be.
I did this last year. I took stuffing and I put it into little like cupcake bowls, and then we put mashed potatoes on top that made it look like whipped cream. So it looked like a cupcake, but the cupcake was stuffing, and then the whipped cream was mashed potatoes.
Oh my gosh.
And then we put a little drizzle of gravy over it. So it was like a cupcake looking thing, but it tasted like mashed potatoes and stuffing.
So was that stuff that was like leftovers from Thanksgiving or Christmas?
We made that as we made.
Okay.
So that's probably not what they're referring to. Oh, Chris has information for us.
Yes.
All right, Chris, tell
Chris,
us.
come in. Fact check us.
This was from last season.
Okay.
We had a guest on, Chandis, who talked about that.
Chandis. Well, maybe Chandis can put into the Patreon what the recipe was.
Yeah, or you can go follow her. She's at Holiday Food and Fun.
Yeah.
On Instagram, and I know she posts a lot of recipes on there, so maybe you can find it there. So check that out for sure. That's making me think. I saw a video on Instagram yesterday. It was brilliant. It was gingerbread men pizzas. And they took like pizza dough and put it into a gingerbread man tin like you would like maybe do a cookie.
Sure.
And they had it sort of open, and then they put sauce and cheese inside of it and then sealed it up and baked it so the gingerbread man had cheese and marinara.
Like a calzone.
Exactly. And I wonder if we could do a similar thing with what you were just suggesting, is like sort of doing stuffing and then mashed potatoes, but I don't know how you'd like seal it. If it maybe it would just be in the shape of a gingerbread man.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But you could put it into a pastry.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Like some like a Pillsbury, like a what's the crescent roll one?
Yeah. Fill that with some stuff.
Ooh.
Maybe when we're in Big Bear, we should do a cooking segment in our cabin that we're staying at. That'd be fun.
Yes, Christmas cooking countdown.
I like that.
Coming in 2026.
All right, we got one more review.
We got one more, and this one is coming to us from Kate the Great.
Kate the Great.
And the title of this review is Best Xmas Pod, with, of course, 5 golden stars. Yeah. And Kate says, you guys are truly amazing. I've been indulging since the very beginning. You deserve 5 gold rings, not stars. I'm surprised out of all the Christmas peeps, no one brought that up. Talk about a Christmas opportunity by your fans. Boom. It seems like you guys haven't done a show on top Christmas books. We get this so often.
People want us to do the books.
Maybe the children
don't read too well.
The children love the books. Anyway, maybe you guys can do that this season. I put my top 5 down below. Eric has mentioned a quote from the movie Polar Express a few times. Not to take away from Tom Hanks, because who could ever take away from Tom? I mean, it's Tom Hanks. He's a legend. But that quote Eric loves so much actually came from the last page of the Polar Express book. At one time, most of my friends could hear the bell. ... I'm emotionally invested in that book because my mother, Mary, used to read it to me and my 2 older brothers every Christmas Eve before bed. Then she would sing Silent Night while tucking us in. She would have loved this podcast. She was the biggest Christmas fan. We didn't have much growing up, but she made every Christmas feel like it had it all. Her trick? It was her love. She was sadly diagnosed with Huntington's disease when I was 19, battled it for 10 years, and passed away 5 years ago in October. Now, as a mother, I carry on that tradition with my daughter. I read the Polar Express, sing Silent Night to her every Christmas Eve. I'm naturally a strong person, but even I cannot control my emotions that take over. Isn't that what Christmas is all about? Continuing on with the traditions that make us feel safe and secure. Honoring loved ones who are no longer with us physically. You guys are doing a tremendous job spreading the Christmas spirit. It's nice to have a place where I can fall back into all of those incredible Christmas memories with like-minded souls. Sending you light and love this Christmas season from Kate the Great.
You know, Kate the Great was talking about sort of the passing down of family traditions, you know, from her parents and now to her family. And it reminded me of that poem that we've read before, the one that Michael Bublé read sort of went viral. I did a little deep dive on it. It was written by a woman named Janessa Docking, who I think it's kind of cool. She's not like a poet laureate. She just sort of is a person who's, you know, putting content out into the world.
Yeah.
And this poem made its way to Michael Bublé's sister and then to him, and then he read it and it went viral, which but I think it's worth listening to every season.
Cool.
And it's called It Will Be You. And it goes like this. They don't know it yet, but when they're grown and starting their own Christmas traditions, it will be you that they mirror. Your family recipes will grace their holly dress table, and the classic punch that you spiked will come out after lunch. They'll search for the same candle scent that you burn to get that nostalgic smell that is woven into their memories. They'll play the carols that feel like home, that feel like you. Their children's handmade snowmen and reindeer will be hung with pride just like theirs were. Morning elves, sleigh bells, Santa photos will create the same joy and excitement for their kids that you created for them. When they think of Christmas, it will be you. It will be you that they emulate, you that they remember, you that they want to be for their kids. You're their memories. You're their magic. You're their Christmas.
Oh, my gosh.
And it's just, I think it's a good reminder as we head into the season that, we can all get crazy with, all the things that are happening.
Yeah.
But just remember that, especially for those little ones around you, that you're creating the memories that they will have of what Christmas means to them when they're older. So
Oh my gosh.
don't forget that.
What a
You know
reminder.
I see that you have some mail over there, and it's been in my line of sight, and I think we should check it out.
Let's do it. So let's do this big box first.
Okay.
Okay. Because this one will be a little
Oh,
quicker.
this is exciting. I think I might know what this is.
What gave it away, Eric?
Hey, dude.
Was it the Hey Dude all over it? So you mentioned this shoe brand to me. Was it
A couple years ago.
a couple years ago?
Yeah.
You got your first pair, I think,
did,
of
yeah.
these shoes. And I said, oh, those look like Sanooks.
Yeah.
Well, we've been engaging with this brand on Insta Media, I was going to say. Let's start that.
There you
Insta Media. On Instagram, on social media. And they were like, hey, we want to send you some shoes. You don't have to talk about it. You don't have to post about it, whatever. And so they sent us this box. Do you want to? I've already peeked inside. Do you
I
wanna,
would love to.
why don't
First of all,
you
the
open it?
box is well done.
Yeah.
It's got a very ugly Christmas sweater sort of vibe to it.
Really well
It
designed.
says, hey, dude, have you tried Hey Dude Happy Holidays from Hey Dude? I love it. Ooh, nice inside. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
Listen to
See,
that, folks.
Jingle Bell sounds good.
okay, that is good. This is 2 pairs of, I'm going to call them elf shoes.
I think they call it's. I think it says on that
Oh,
card.
it says
like,
here,
what-
Happy Holidays, 2 pairs of dudes and a partridge in a pear tree. Enjoy both for yourself or gift a pair to a friend so they know you're the best gift giver ever. Happy Holiday Dudes. And don't forget to show the holiday love with hashtag Hey Dudes and hashtag Gifted.
Dude, these
love it.
are awesome. Should we try them on?
I think we must.
I've never tried on a pair of
And
Hey
there's
Dudes.
some
Oh, what did they put in there?
stickers. Or are they
They're like
stickers?
little like fuzzy patches or
They're
something
like little
that.
fuzzy patches for like a jean jacket or something.
Let's have our Fred Rogers moment here, shall we?
Yes.
We did this on Disney Countdown. Do you remember
It's a
you brought
beautiful
you bought us Buzz Lightyear shoes? Do you
Yes.
remember?
I still have those shoes.
If you want to hear that moment, go listen to Disney Countdown, which is our
early
spin-off
days.
show. The early days. That was when we were hosting
Yes.
before Danielle and Megan, who were doing a
Oh,
phenomenal
these
job.
look so great.
I love the Jingle Bell accent.
I'm going to love wearing these around the house and just.
I am so excited. I've never put on a pair of Hey Dudes till this moment.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, they're so comfortable.
Oh, come on now.
Yeah.
Get out of town with these. Oh my gosh. These are so. Dude, they've got like a little thing down in the toe box that makes it sort of cradle the under part of your toes. That's nice.
Okay. All right. These are nice.
Dude.
going to walk around.
I want to know what that looks like on camera right now. Dude, these are comfortable. Okay. Are these our show shoes? Do we have to wear these for every shoe?
I think so.
Every
I
shoe?
think we have to. Every
Every
shoe.
shoe. Welcome to the Christmas Countdown shoe.
I love it. These are great. Thank you, Hey Dude. These
Thank
are awesome.
you, Hey Dude. Very, very kind.
Very cool. What else we got?
We got a parcel. I'm going to call it a parcel because it came from somewhere other than
Sure.
the United States. And my kids are really into using the word parcel because of
Good word.
Bluey,
Sure, yeah.
obviously. And they play Pass the Parcel with like
Yes. Yeah.
they were doing that outside. Yeah, I brought them here to the holiday experience the other night, and they were like with my nephew, just like passing a water bottle around, going, pass the parcel,
parcel."
round and round. But this parcel is coming to us from our very, very good friend, Simon,
Hello, Simon.
in Ireland,
In Ireland.
which I'm so excited about.
Simon, what have you sent us?
Simon sent us,
Very cool.
very cool ornaments that aren't on display now, and you'll find out in a moment. Yeah. Okay, there's a letter in here and a card. Do you want to do the card?
I'll do the card,
and I'll
sure.
I'll check out the letter.
It says Christmas Countdown Crew. Here we go. Let's see here. Oh, what a card.
Oh my God.
The card is wonderful. It's a big, it's a very sturdy card, which I appreciate. And it's got Will Ferrell as Elf, and it says, Santa is coming!
That's amazing.
And it says, this is going to be the best Christmas season ever. Hope you had a fun-filled day. To Danny and Eric and Emilio and Chris, wish you all a very Merry Christmas from my home and family to yours, Simon. I love it. Thank you, Simon. I'm going to put the card right here.
Love it. You know what I love about cards that come from other countries?
What's that?
Is I feel like they're not cards that we get
Sure.
here in the States. Like I've never
seen
seen that card.
Yeah.
before, which is super, super fun. All right. And then we do have a letter from Simon. But I don't know if I want to read it because I think it's telling us what's inside.
Okay, yeah.
So let's say that. Let's just go for it. But thank you, Simon. Oh, my goodness. All right. We got some tissue paper here. There you go. Ooh. Bag of chips for you.
Tato, cheese, and onion.
Tato. I like that it's just called Tato.
Tato.
That's amazing.
Tato chips.
All right, this one, these are labeled. This is to Danny, a little gift for your home. Merry Christmas, Simon. And then this one is to Eric. There you go. These are wrapped here. Okay.
See here.
Oh, this is lovely. All right, here we go. I'll give you a little paper ripping ASMR.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh. Simon, get out of town.
Oh, what is it? I can't tell what it is yet.
Well, this is very personal.
Some sort of print.
This is very personal. So I know we talked about this in one of our off-season episodes, and I just want to bring it up again. So in April, we lost our dog, who I adopted right before Christmas back in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And Simon sent me this little like wood carved figurine of like an owner and a dog, a very sweet thing. And so Simon sent me, and Sammy, my dog, was a black terrier mix. And so Simon sent me this little wood figurine of a black dog with a Santa hat and a candy cane.
I love that.
Which is so sweet. Thank you, Simon. That's very, very thoughthtop. Thank you.
Not to make
yours
this,
is equally as thoughtful, I guess.
Well, I'll get to this in a second. Not to make this whole show a downer, but if people are praying people, my dog Simon. My dog's name is Simon.
Oh.
These gifts are from Simon from Ireland, but my dog's name is Simon, and Simon's not doing too good.
I'm sorry, bro.
He's getting towards the end of the old journey there for him. So if you got any prayers for old Simon there, we would very much appreciate it.
For sure.
But now happier things, because mine is also heartfelt, but not in a sad way. Mine is, I think it's a door hanger. You put this on your door.
Out of
and it is
town with.
It is a large. It's 3 cows.
My.
It's 3 big cows.
Gosh.
So it looks like they all wearing Santa hats. This is spectacular.
Eric, you have to do it. Hold on. Hold that up again. Hold up. So all that's visible in your shot is a big cow face. Can you do like a face?
Santa cow. Hallelujah. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Oh, man.
Oh, my gosh.
See, now
awesome.
people have to watch this episode.
Oh, my gosh.
If you go just to watch Eric as a Christmas cow,
that
please.
is so good. Thank you, Simon.
Where are you going to hang that in your house?
I'm going to hang it on the front door.
Are you really? You're like, in my house? It's going to be out front for everyone to see.
I want everybody to see this. Speaking of decorations.
That's brilliant.
I need advice on a certain decoration.
Okay.
I don't know if I think I maybe talked about this, but I don't know if I did. So last year I did Christmas Story at the Amundsen, right?
Yes, and you were brilliant.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Now, if you've ever seen a show here in Southern California, at CTG, Center Theater Group, they always get a huge neon sign of the show logo that they hang outside of the theater. It always looks really cool.
Yeah.
And did I talk about this on the show?
No.
Okay. When the show was ending, I said, "What are you doing with that huge neon sign that says A Christmas Story?" And they were like, "Well, we trash them." And I was like, I said, "Can I have it?"
How big is this thing?
It's the size of this whole wall.
What is it like 8 feet wide or 10 feet wide?
Yeah. I mean, it's massive. It's enormous.
Does it still light up?
Yes. And so it weighs probably, I don't know, 400 pounds. It's very heavy.
Where is it living?
It's in my office right now behind the couch. I had to pay like $200 to have it shipped from the theater to my house.
Oh my gosh. Why did you never talk about this? We could have been planning all year for this.
So I have this massive neon sign that says A Christmas Story.
Okay.
And I don't know where to put it.
On your garage door.
That's what I've been thinking.
Or on your roof.
The roof would be amazing, but it's so heavy. I don't know how I would get it up there and
call the guys who delivered it.
But the thing is that it kind of needs to hang from something. So I think finding studs in my in front of my garage and having it hang there is probably going to be the way to go. It would look awesome on the roof,
dude. And
but
if
it's
it lit
so
up,
heavy,
like on the pitch, so like everyone who drives by.
I know it would look so. It would look really cool.
Is there concern, like if it gets wet, does it start to short? Because where it hangs is like covered, right, at the theater.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they don't take
You probably
into account.
don't want it to get super wet.
So the garage is probably the way to go.
Probably the way to go.
Dude,
But it's
yes.
going to be like massive.
Okay, call me. I will come help you.
So,
But so if you hang it though, like what we would need to get like some like braided steel.
yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to find like some sort of massive things that hold, hundreds of pounds.
Wow. Are there
Like-
hooks like for you to like?
It sort of is
through?
between two big pieces of plexiglass.
Okay.
And then those are sort of connected with hooks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that is awesome. You have to put it out.
gonna
You
look
cannot
cool.
have something like that and keep
Well,
it
yeah,
hidden
yeah,
from
yeah,
the people.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh my
It's gonna
God,
be
I'm so
exciting.
jealous.
Yeah.
If I had a Home Alone sign.
It's so big, Danny. Like, it's so big.
So I was at Costco over the weekend looking at Christmas decorations.
Yeah.
And sorry, Simon, we will get to the rest of the stuff here in a moment. But they had this bear there. I don't know if you've been to Costco. Dude, it's like 15 feet tall by like, I don't want like a big teddy bear, but I was like, just the like shock value of it being like in front of my house, I was like, that would be cool to have that. Because the way my house sort of is, like the orientation towards the street is I have this huge pitch that faces out towards the street that's just empty.
Sure, yeah. Be a good spot for a big bear.
I've been thinking about what in the world could I put up there? Do I spell something in Christmas lights? I don't know.
If you got it, you would have to bring it to Big Bear.
Oh! Literally. Hey, zing.
All right, what else we got?
So from Simon, we also have some more Tato. Let's give these ones to Emilio.
Yes.
Emilio, coming at you. You're going to be on camera, so don't drop it.
There you
Hey!
go. I'm going to try these.
He caught it from Jordan Love out there in Green.
Can I tell you that chips,
Or
crisps, as they call them over in the UK, are just so much better over there.
They're crispier.
So much better.
Oh,
my gosh.
Eric, you know what we're about to do.
We're going to eat on the microphone.
You know, that person, I will say, Sundog, did update their review to be 4 stars now, and we've just lost that
I
star.
mean, that's a great chip. That is a
Hold
great
on.
chip.
Now, these are cheese and onion.
Mm-hmm. I had these when I was in Scotland.
Oh.
We're going to bring Miles is
Those are really
walking
good.
into the frame here for a second.
He smelled, the second you cracked that open,
Yeah.
he's like, is that cheese and onion?
All right, you got to talk about into the microphone, though. Tell us how
Welcome to the show, Eric's son, Miles.
Turn on where the cameras can see you. Okay, there you go. Now, how do they taste?
That it's amazing.
Very good. What were those chips that we ate in Scotland that were so good?
What were they called?
Apple cider and
Wait, what?
vinegar.
Cider and vinegar.
Cider and it was like apple cider and vinegar chips
These are
from
good.
Scotland that were so good.
What does this, you know what this reminds me of? You ever had Sweet Maui's?
Yes, they are very similar.
Dude, Sweet Maui's, if you have not had Sweet Maui kettle chips and you're a chip person, heck, even if you're not, and you don't have a gluten allergy.
Yeah.
Actually, is that gluten-free? Because it's potato. No.
I don't
know. Anyway, try Sweet Maui's. They taste like this, but it's a thicker kettle
Yeah.
chip. And when you get like a folded up one,
All right, that's
that's what dreams are made of.
All right, we'll stop eating.
I will stop eating. There are a couple more things from Simon here. We got some candies, which Simon sent these to us last year.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Simon included Emilio, no, I'm coming to you. Ready? You're on camera. Don't drop it. Here we go. Hey! Oh, he caught that one from Caleb Williams that time.
Doubtful.
He didn't have enough time to throw the ball.
Listen, we can't
Anyway.
talk about it. It's too soon.
Too soon. Ooh, there's some lollipops in here, or like, what are these? Milk chocolate lollies.
Oh, I love
one
those.
for you, Emilio. Here we go.
Oh, looks like he plays for the Packers.
Hit your hands. You can't blame me. All right. What is it? You ate the whole thing?
Yeah,
Eric, I looked away for a second.
just one
Oh my
bite.
gosh. Okay.
How long would you take to eat a milk chocolate popsicle?
I don't know. Do you want to find out? No, I don't want to have chocolate in my teeth for the rest of the episode. It does look good though.
Very good.
All right, and then he also Simon sent us some chocolate bombs, which we love. So we'll use these for sure. And then last but not least, I'm very excited for this. This one says to Danny. This one's to Eric. I'm guessing these are new ornaments for our tree from Simon. So let's take a look. Simon sent us these beautiful Irish ornaments last year, which hang on our trees. Okay, here we go. Ooh, are there two? Or is it just, oh, it's just one? Okay.
Care
Wait, something
advice.
fell out of mine.
It's just what do
The
you
old
call
silica
that?
gel?
Yeah.
Hey, did you know they advise that you hold on to silica gel?
Why?
If you ever drop your phone in water,
Oh, I
you
have
could
heard
put this
that,
in a
yeah.
Ziploc bag.
Okay, that is beautiful. I love this.
Describe it to the people.
Oh my gosh. Okay, it's an ornament. I will say it's very similar. If you're, these are from Newbridge, is the company that makes this. Do we have the same one?
No, mine's different.
Okay, fantastic.
You describe yours first.
Okay, I love this so much. It is a mostly silver with sort of a wreath, a silver etched wreath with, and it's sort of 3-dimensional.
Yeah.
Which is very cool. It has a bunch of trees. It has a little log cabin with a snowman. You can see the moon and stars. But my favorite thing at the bottom, it says Christmas greetings, is there's a big grizzly bear and then a little grizzly bear sleeping on top of him.
It's like you and Miles.
That's how me and Miles, a lot of times when we cuddle, we do that. Miles, come look at this. Miles coming
Here,
back into the
climb on
frame.
Eric. Let's see.
Yeah. Look at that.
Dude.
Isn't that cute? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Simon. That is, I may have to bring this one home.
Okay.
I don't know
fair
if
enough.
I can. I don't know if I can leave this one here because
That's
I
fair.
love this very, very much. Thank
Yeah.
you, Simon. I really, really love that.
That's beautiful. So mine is like a mailbox, essentially,
Mm-hmm.
like one you would see at the post office, and it says Christmas mail on it. It's predominantly silver again. I think the company, this Newbridge, is
Yeah.
the same company he sent us stuff from last year. That I think they're like purveyors of like silverware. Yeah. And so tracks that it's all silver. Mine is the mailbox, and then it's got like all these sort of iconic little gift elements, like a locomotive train, like steam engine, a candy
colors of
cane.
that.
The colors are stunning. I love this because honestly, one of my favorite, things about our show is that, we have a P.O. box, and around the holiday season, we're so fortunate that people will mail us cards or little gifts like this. And I love going and getting the merry mail, as
do.
I call it. And I actually took my daughter Riley with me when we got this stuff, and I let her like open the box, and she was so excited that when she opened the box, there was another key inside the box, and we got to go open yet another box.
Because it was too big to fit.
Correct. Yeah. So we got, this amazing package from Simon. I love Merry Mail. Christmas mail is some of my favorite mail
That's awesome.
in the world. So thank you, Simon. I think I'm going to do the same.
Yeah.
I'll take this one home. I'll set it on my little table here for today. But that was so kind and thoughtful. Thank you, Simon. We appreciate you. We love you.
You're the best.
If you want to send us a card and have us read it here on the show, or if you have like a little, ornament or something you think represents your part of the world or the country, send it to us. Just send us an email at kringle@christmascountdownshow.com, and we'll share our P.O. box with you so you guys can.
If you have really like gooey, like really thick kind of foods that you want us to eat
Yeah.
into a microphone
For 30 minutes,
for
yeah.
the rest of the country the world to hear.
Imagine we just did like a full eating episode.
Oh my God, we would
Yeah.
lose so many viewers.
Unsubscribe. immediately.
Unsubscribe. Oh
We
my
promise we will draw the line there. We will not do that to you
We
guys.
won't do
But thank you so much, Simon. That was super, super kind of you. And I will read this additional letter. We'll read that together afterwards. So I alluded to this earlier, right before we got into the fan mail, that I spent, because it was a holiday weekend for us here in the States. It was Veterans Day yesterday. So thank you to
Thank you to all
everyone
of our veterans.
who are serving or who have served. We appreciate you all so much. That gave us a 3-day weekend, and the wind had died down out here. So I was like, I'm getting after it.
Sure.
I'm going all in on decorating my house. And so I got most of it done.
Outdoors, indoors. What are we talking about?
I went all outdoors.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're all decorated indoors.
Are you really?
Yeah. Not other than the ornaments.
We haven't started yet. And in all fairness, the way it goes typically around our house is that, Lynn will watch the girls while I'm putting up all of the decor on the roof, because I usually can't do it during the week because of work. And she did that over the weekend. So huge shout out to my wife for keeping an eye on our very active children while I was up on the roof, risking life and limb, for the joy of others.
Sure.
But I got most of the stuff up. Like I got all my lights up. And then the inflatables I'm going to save for this week because it's super windy. But last night I was like, okay, let's have everything turn on just so I can make sure all the lights are good. And Eric, let me tell you, this is the most amount of lights that have not worked
Wait a second.
on my house.
Wait a second.
Ever.
Did you not test before you put them?
didn't.
Oh,
I didn't because
Daniel.
that's not my name.
Danny. Oh my goodness gracious! You didn't give
I
a
know.
plug-in test before you put them up on the roof?
It's so many lights. And honestly, I was like, my lights have been good to me for so long. We're going to be good.
You tempted.
I tempted fate. It was also really bright out, and sometimes it can be hard to see the lights. And so there were things happening last night that didn't make sense.
Where it's like the middle of a strand is out. So you're like, I know that there's power going through.
Yes, but why are these 12 lights not on?
Now, what'd you do? Did you do the fold technique where it's like, okay, I'm still got a whole bunch of lights that work, so then we're just gonna fold, but then you have that ugly like loop that's kind of like
I tried everything
in the dead spot.
I did about 7 different things last night. It was dark out, and so I had my headlamp on. I literally was standing in the driveway, and I was like, I am like Griswold right now. You know where he's standing out there, he's looking at the piece of paper, and he's like, "What? I checked every outlet. I checked every bulb." And I was like, am I really going to go bulb by bulb? Because it wasn't like big strands.
Right.
It was the little tiny ones where it was like I would have to check so many lights.
Yeah.
So I started that. I'm flicking them like that's going to work.
Yeah, but sometimes it does.
That's a 90s kid thing to be like, oh, just blow in my cartridge and it'll work just fine. Make it scrape the edge just a little bit as it's going in. But that wasn't working. And so fortunately, I found in a tub while I was unpacking my stuff, I had a bunch of unopened strands of lights.
Okay.
And so what I did was some of them were in the middle, so I was able to unplug and I just had to go through and redecorate. Another strand I found I didn't actually plug in. So fortunately that was corrected easy, but I had like a whole window out. And then I replaced it with a new strand of lights, and there were 2 lights that weren't working. And I was like, I've got a perfect solve for this. This strand is so long that it doubles up in certain parts. I'll just take one of those lights and move it there. But for some reason that does not make sense, when I would plug in these other lights into the socket that wasn't working, it would be dim. And it wouldn't be as bright as it was if I plugged it in elsewhere. So I was out in front of my house until about 8 o'clock last night, and I got most of it done, but I had to take a bunch of lights down. And I literally kept saying, I don't know what's going on here, like over and over and over again. So if there are any electricians out there, can you tell us, is there a way or a device or something
When you just have a few lights out.
to determine what is the cause?
Yeah.
Is it one socket in particular, and how do I determine what that socket is?
Can I also ask the listeners?
Yes.
I have a few inflatables that like the fan is kind of dying or dead on, but I don't want to just like get rid of the whole inflatable.
Yeah.
Is there a fix to the fan problem in an inflatable? Or is it a thing where it's like, listen, it's once the fan's dead, the piece is dead?
Can I give you a pro tip for that?
Yes.
I started doing this 2 years ago. Is you go to checkout at Lowe's. I'm sure Home Depot probably offers the same and other big box retailers. They're like, do you want to buy the warranty?
Yeah.
I buy it every time now. And they're usually like $4.97 because with Lowe's, what I love about them is that, and this is not an ad for Lowe's, it's just something I've discovered that you should know, is that I don't have to bring it back to the store. I literally go to the website, I enter my policy that I bought, and they issue me a gift card for the exact amount that I bought it for. That happened with this polar bear thing a few years ago that cost me like $100.
Right.
And they immediately issued me a digital gift card. I went to Lowe's that afternoon and bought a new decoration. So that's my pro tip for you. But speaking of things that are like an old-fashioned family Christmas, take a deep breath real quick, Aaron.
It smells so nice in here.
It's the sweet, sweet smell of what?
Real Christmas
Real
tree.
Christmas trees.
Yes, folks, if you're watching this, you may have noticed, wow, these trees behind Danny and Eric today look so full, luscious. And
are
I almost
so
feel
full.
like I can smell them through the camera.
I almost feel like I'm in it. It's
yes,
so
I mean,
full.
my hair has been catching on the tree behind me quite a bit because these are real Christmas trees,
Yes.
folks, and they are perfect trees.
Dude, I don't know if I've ever
Perfect
seen
trees.
such a beautiful shape on a
Conical?
Christmas tree. Yeah.
Very
Ooh,
conical.
Nice use of the word. Yeah.
There you go. Very full, no dead spots.
Right.
The all the branches are up.
Yeah.
We got no sagging happening. Good height, full all the way to the top.
the perfect point for your star or angel
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever you put on the top of your tree.
I mean, these really are very, very good looking trees. But Danny, tell people why we have new trees here.
So we're so fortunate. The people at Real Christmas Tree Board reached out to us and they said, we want you guys, you talk so much about like the nostalgia and the family moments tied to going to the lot and picking out your own real tree. We want to send you some to have in your studio this season. So Real Christmas Tree Board, they shipped us. These arrived at my house
Yes.
over the weekend and they were wrapped absolutely perfectly. I put it,
Burlap.
the burlap. It was like so classic. I was like, this is, I always wondered, how do you ship a tree?
Yeah.
Now I know. They were perfectly wrapped. I put them in a little water over the weekend and they are so stunning and they smell so darn good. And I'm so grateful that we have these here because we've talked about it so much on the show in the past and we've tried to like mimic
Sure.
that feel. We've gone out and bought like little smell good sticks or whatever
and
to give that
candles
vibe.
and stuff. And yeah.
But nothing replaces a living thing being around you.
The smell right now is spectacular.
Yeah.
And we're in a large space. So
Yep.
we're sitting, 2 feet away from the trees, but we
Yeah.
smell it. It smells wonderful. But I also really love that feeling and that smell when you when you take a tree and you just like bury your face deep, like you're gone into the tree.
Yeah, you are one with it. Yeah.
Oh, it's so great. It's just the best.
Yeah. Now, what I'm thinking is we're known for lists.
That's what we do.
That's what we do. That's why we're called Christmas Countdown. What if we just did, we've never done this before. Why don't we do like maybe each of our top 3 favorite parts of a real Christmas tree?
I would love to do that.
Yeah.
I have a little list prepared here.
Oh, do you really?
I do indeed.
Well, that worked out.
I wrote like 5 things because I wasn't sure what you were going to say, and I
You're like, was he going to say 15? Was he going to say 20?
I know.
Because the list goes on and on.
Okay, this is a good one. This is a very specific one.
Okay.
I love the look of ornaments in the middle by the trunk.
Ooh.
So we all know when we're hanging our ornaments on a tree, right? Whether it be this kind of tree or an artificial tree, usually you're putting them on the outside so they can be seen, right?
Right.
But I love with a real tree that because they're sturdier and they are fuller all the way to the middle,
Yeah.
when you get that special ornament that's kind of like hidden a little bit deep in the tree.
Yeah.
And I always like to find those ones that are almost more like emotional ornaments for me. If it's like maybe my first ornament from when I was a kid or like one that the kids made, and you kind of hide it inside so that, when you pass by the tree, you're looking at the ornaments. But when you take that time to like really stand there and the lights are on, it's in the evening and you're just kind of admiring how the tree looks and smells and feels, finding those things that are like almost like a little hidden treasure for like if you're really looking for it.
I love
so that's going to be my number 3 thing that I love about a good real tree is that you have the fullness to hide stuff, and not even hide. It's just
Depth.
the depth of the tree.
Ooh, I love that. That's a great one. I'm going to go with for my number 3, and again, this is so hard to put them in order because I love so much about real trees, is that we've talked about this on the show in the past, is I love when you do the fresh cut at the lot and then you grab that piece of the fresh cut and then you make it into an ornament.
Yeah.
One, it's rustic. I love the look of it, but it's so personal.
Yeah.
Right. And you can sort of customize it how you want. If you want to write like the year on there, your family name, maybe have your kids write their name, and like every year that goes by, like you see how their writing sort of changes. So like one, it's special for that year, but it's something that becomes more and more special as the time goes on. And that's something you can only get when you get a real tree is that fresh cut.
Yeah.
One, it's great for the tree, right?
Yeah.
Because like it's going to soak up more water and keep it, properly hydrated. But 2, now it's a tradition, but it's also a memory, and it's also a piece of like, what would you call it? Like a piece of decor that you get to use.
Because we do that as well, and I find that there is something really cool about the tangible touching of like a tree from 2003, and it has our name, and at that point it was just me and Lisa, and you can just like you see the rings of the tree, and it's it's weathered a bit, but it's still like it was alive. I don't know. There's something about it that's really
It's real.
It's real,
Yeah.
which I love. All right, my number 2 is going to be the ritual and the tradition of the picking of the tree. I mean, we've seen it in every Christmas movie. I love the process, whether it's when we lived in New York and getting a real tree from, on the side of the road, just
Right.
like they'd be outside of a drugstore or something, and be some person who drove down and they had been growing the trees up, upstate New York or something, and you pick out the tree. I've told you the story about when we went down to Union Square and got a real tree the day after Thanksgiving.
Yes.
It may have even been Thanksgiving night. And we took it on the subway from Union Square up to where we lived in Washington Heights, which is a long subway drive. And we stood there on the subway holding a tree, and it was very early because it was right after Thanksgiving, and people were like, "Already?" But a lot of people were like, "Yes!" And the whole subway car smelled like Christmas tree.
Dude,
it was awesome.
That's amazing.
But the ritual of going with my wife and with my kids to pick out the tree, and we're all sort of having an opinion on, is it full enough? I don't like this one, and the branches are maybe not how we want, or this one looks really great, or I like the smell of this one, or this one looks more sturdy. Or then there's years where we're like, this one is a little crooked, but I kind of like it. It's got the character. There's something about it's almost like when you go and pick out a pet or something. You just as a family feel drawn to a certain tree. And I think maybe it's because they are living things. You know what I mean? That there is a real sort of organic connection. So the process of putting on the gloves and putting on my hat and strapping it to the car, the whole ritual of going to pick out a real tree from a Christmas tree lot, it cannot be beat. It's one of the best parts of the holiday season.
I agree, 100%. I love that, dovetailing off of that, the uniqueness, right? That no two trees are the same.
Yeah.
And that's us as humans, right? We're all unique in our own way, and I love that your tree gets to sort of be a representation of that, which I love. And I'll dovetail further and say for my number 2, what I love is the energy at the Christmas tree lot. It is all the families who are there together, or the new couple, or whatever it is, and everyone is there looking for that perfect tree, or the tree that they feel like will fit perfectly into their space. And just hearing everyone talk about why they like this tree, and the kids giggling and sort of running around the lot. Dad might be haggling or whatever it might be. It is what you grow up sort of seeing in movies, but it's real life, and I just love the idea that it's not like me as the parent going off and shopping for gifts for my kids. It is one of the things that you get to do all together at the holiday season. There's so much kids go and rehearse for a pageant. They're rehearsing by themselves. You're off maybe at a company party and your kids can't come. But as family people, which we are, going out to the lot is one of the things you get to do with your family every single year. And I love the tradition of doing things and creating memories as a unit. So I'm going to say that energy of the lot, of all the people at their different sort of stages of life, they're trying to find their ideal tree for that holiday season. Yeah.
I know my number 1 is, but I have a feeling that we maybe have the same number 1.
Should we say it at the same time?
Probably.
All right.
It's going to be the smell.
smell.
I mean, it's that thing that you're always chasing, is that really great Christmas tree smell. We've had years where if we've been in a small apartment and we maybe couldn't afford a tree or whatever, we're like, well, let's at least get a wreath. We have to have something in there. But it's never as great as that real full Christmas tree smell. You can get all the candles you want that are fresh balsam, and they smell great.
Yep.
But nothing is as good as that real. It's got the sappiness to it, a little bit of maple in it maybe. The smell of a Christmas tree in your home cannot be beat.
I think when I think about the smell, yes, it is intoxicating and I love it and it smells like Christmas to me. But as I dig deeper into it, it really connects to the history of the tree, right? That it wasn't just somebody made it, it took the care of these farmers for all those years to raise these things from seeds to saplings, 10, 15 years to grow these things, and all the care that they put into it, not just to harvest, to grow it, but then to harvest it and get it on the truck. It's just how many people contributed to you having that thing in your home. I love the story of it, but the smell is iconic, and there's nothing like when you come home and you've been gone all day and you open the front door of your apartment or your home and you smell, and it's just it puts a smile on my face every single time. So
I would love to be a Christmas tree farmer, like growing Christmas trees.
That'd be pretty darn cool.
Like you own a farm and you just have a whole sea of Christmas trees, and you're like, oh, you'll be ready in about 10 years.
Yeah.
And you one more year to go, little trees. Like I just think that's so great.
Yeah.
And they're good for the environment too.
They are.
You know,
They
you
are
can
biodegradable, yeah.
and
And you can chop them up and turn them in to mulch at the end of the season if you're, one of those people. So if you are like, you know what? I need a real Christmas tree. This is the year, and hopefully it is. Go to realchristmastreeboard.com. They have this really cool tool on there where you can, search and like find lots, in or around you that have real Christmas trees. So make sure you go to realchristmastreeboard.com, get all the information you need, and bring that iconic piece of the holiday season into your home.
If you'll excuse me for just 1 second.
Yeah. Oh.
So good.
It's so good.
I just needed a quick smell.
There you go. Live your truth. That's what I said.
Absolutely.
Well, Eric, speaking of things that we love, things I love, there's something you haven't done yet this season on our show, and I think it's time.
It's time for memes and things, folks.
Hit it.
Memes and things, memes and things. It's time for Eric's memes and things.
We had a year for me to re-record that beatbox.
But it's good, right?
It
how
just
it is.
needs-
The people like it.
Chris, does it need to stay the way it is, or should we re-record it?
It's iconic. It has to stay just the way it is.
It's iconic.
Iconique. As we-
Iconic. Okay, so I've been collecting some of these literally over the whole off season. So some of
Should
these
I
are
get comfortable?
Get comfortable. I'm gonna go as I always do. I'm gonna try to go through these as fast as I can. Some of them I will post on our socials if it's a visual thing.
Yeah.
Okay. This first one is. This is a viral Christmas T-shirt from Fitting Pieces and Company on Instagram. If you're a Harry Potter fan, you're gonna like this. If you like Harry Potter,
I love Harry Potter.
and you like Christmas, you're gonna like
I
this
love
shirt.
both.
It says, "All I want for Christmas is not me, not Hermione, yo." Do you know the moment from I think it's from the first movie when they're on the chessboard and they're talking about like who has to do the
Ron
move.
is saying it.
And he's like, "Not me, not Hermione, yo."
That's
and so it's spelled
brilliant.
YAOU. It's very
See, we need to do merch like that as well. That is it too inside, or do you think people would dig it?
I think that's pretty good.
Who cares?
I
Let's
think
just
it's
do it.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, this is something that I found on Etsy that I must have this.
Okay.
This is a Muppets Christmas Carol, Waldorf and Stadler. Is that their names? Waldorf and Stadler?
Oh, the paintings. Right?
No, the two guys that are up in the in the booth.
Could not have been more off.
The guys that are up in
The
the
painters.
but they're the Marley and Marley, right? They sing
I don't know
Marley
if
and
I
Marley.
knew their name until this moment.
And it's them on the door handle,
my
the door knocker, like Scrooge goes up and it turns into the face of Waldorf and Stadler, you know?
Dude, that's brilliant.
I need to get
Would
that.
you get both, or would you just get one?
I think you just get one.
Okay.
I think you just get one. Okay, this is a good one. I love spices, right? When I cook, I do a lot of spices.
Okay.
Whenever I'm like cooking something and the thing's like put 1 teaspoon of salt, I'm like 4 teaspoons of salt. And I'm always adding garlic salt and Lowry's.
Do you taste as you go?
No. I trust.
Wow.
I trust.
Just trust what your gut is telling you in the
my
moment.
gut.
Yeah.
Okay, now McCormick, who does again, these are not ads. McCormick, who does their spice
seasoning
company,
salt,
seasoning salt,
which
right?
we love. Yeah.
They have Chris. You posted about this actually in the group. There are gingerbread spice, salted caramel, candy cane, English toffee, hot cocoa, and white frosting. Ooh, good spices.
Would that would be probably for like cupcakes,
They're
right?
sugars and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you could put on stuff for the holiday season. Very cool. I love that.
Side note: have they ever done a set of spices that's named after the Spice Girls?
No, but they really should.
They really should. That's a
They
missed
really
opportunity,
should. That is a
right?
Chris missed opportunity. Okay, this is something that I ordered for my daughter. She doesn't know it yet, and Miles is here as we're recording
Wait,
this. So Miles,
is this a Christmas gift?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's an advent calendar.
Oh, fun.
But she hasn't received it yet. It is a Gilmore Girls official advent calendar. Now
Miles
my brother
is freaking out.
My brother, my son. Who are you?
My brother. Wait a second.
Wait a second.
You are not the father. No, I'm sorry.
Gilmore Girls. My family has recently. We are deep into a Gilmore Girls
Are you?
dive. We had
Have
never
you
watched.
seen the episode around Christmas where there's like a like a carnival going on in the square and
Well, there's
snowy.
always a carnival going on in the square.
I
Like
was
every
background
episode.
in one of those
Oh,
episodes,
very
and I'm
cool.
like on the basketball team walking
Very
around.
cool. All right, good to know.
Minimum wage, whatever.
Yeah, they're very cool. But there is a Gilmore Girls official advent calendar, which I ordered for my daughter, which is
Okay.
very cool. It has like a little coaster from Luke's coffee shop and stuff. Very cool. Okay, this is good. This was on, somebody posted this as if you have a person who you're giving a gift to who's
Yes.
a little bit of a snooper.
Ooh,
Right? Maybe
likes
they
to
like
shake
like
gifts.
to shake the gifts or see if they can peek into the wrapping paper a little bit. This person, probably an engineer is my guess, took their gift and they put it inside of 2 pieces of plywood, right?
Yes.
So the gift is in between 2 pieces of plywood, but then the 2 pieces of plywood have very large, like I'm talking probably 3 foot high, not spikes.
They look like
bolts,
spears.
essentially.
Yeah.
And then there are multiple bolts that have been tightened down
that's
on both sides.
hysterical.
So to open this gift probably would take a full day to get to the gift.
What commitment?
But I think that it's such a great idea if you have somebody who's maybe a little bit of a snooper.
That's hysterical.
Okay, there's a place called Home Bargains.
Hmm.
I don't know if Home Bargains is an American company. I've never heard of a Home Bargains. It might be a UK company.
Sounds European.
But they have Polar Express matching family Christmas pajamas
Dude, get out of town.
that look really cool.
Dude, those are legit.
Really cool. And they have slippers as well.
Are
Very
they? Is that supposed to be like that? They would be gifted. You would be gifted these if you went on the Polar Express, or is it just like the logo?
I think it kind of has the logo,
Oh,
but they're
okay.
all matching red and very cool.
Copy.
This has been sort of going around TikTok, which I think is a really cool shirt that I kind of want. It says Thug Life, and then it has Kevin McAllister, the Grinch, Clark Griswold, and Buddy the Elf, all sort of in a 90s, looking.
My wife got it for me.
Did you get it?
I
was
have
like,
it. Yeah,
Danny would love this.
I almost wore it 2 weeks ago, but I knew Jen had mailed us stuff, and I could feel it. Felt kind of like I wasn't
been that.
snooping,
Yeah.
but it felt like shirts inside, and I didn't want to spoil it.
I love that.
So I'll wear it. Maybe I'll wear it next episode.
Okay, here's another one. This is a new item from Reese's that have Reese's sugar cookie cups.
Wait, Reese's or Reese's?
Reese's. What did I say?
Reese's.
Reese's.
Wait,
A Reese's
No.
peanut butter cup.
you call them a Reese's?
Yeah.
It's Reese's, right? Wait,
Reese's is my
Miles is
son.
saying well, because
He's my son. That is my boy.
that's your Christmas, right
That's
there.
right. That's right.
Wait, hold on, Chris. Do you say Reese's or Reese's?
I say it the correct way, Reese's.
Thank you.
It's a Reese's peanut butter. It's Reese's.
It'd be like Reese's onion cups.
That sounds so gross.
Does it sound?
Okay, a Reese's peanut butter cup sugar cookie. So it's basically a Reese's peanut butter cup, but there are little balls of sugar cookie inside of the Reese's peanut butter cup.
Wait, could I ask you something?
Yep.
You know how they have like an M&M version of Reese's?
Mm-hmm.
What do you call those?
Reese's Pieces.
You call them Pieces?
Reese's Pieces. Reese's. Yeah, I guess I do.
Yeah.
Reese's Pieces.
Yeah.
Reese's Pieces. But I think I have said Reese's Pieces because I say Reese's.
Oh, I'm done. Oh.
See?
Now, if we had your dad here, that would be the ultimate.
Yes.
Because if your dad was like Reese's, then we would know where it started, right?
true.
And does your dad say onion or onion?
He says onion with the G.
Does he really?
Yes, definitely.
Oh my gosh.
He says milk.
I do
instead
say
of
milk too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. This is one. Danny, you posted this in the Countdown Crew
Ooh, what did I
thing.
post?
Is that there is now a book version of Socks, the J.D. McPherson album that we love.
Well, yeah, one of our followers, I think, posted it, and then I like commented on it or something like that. I didn't know that it was a thing yet,
Yeah.
which is brilliant.
Okay, this is another one.
Okay.
This is exciting.
Yeah.
I think I sent this to you. This is a new movie coming out on Paramount on November 25th.
Oh yes.
That stars Jack Black and says Jack Black is not Santa. This is from
Dude.
the Minds Who Brought You Dumb and Dumber. It's the Farrelly Brothers.
Yes.
And it is basically about a little boy who is writing a letter to Santa.
Right.
But sometimes little kids don't have the best spelling. And he accidentally writes to Satan instead of Santa.
Such a brilliant concept.
It's brilliant. And
Yeah.
so Jack Black is playing Satan down in the Hades,
The depths,
right?
yeah.
The depths. And a little letter comes down, and it's this kid giving his Christmas wish list. And Jack Black like goes up to his room and is like, "All right, you got 3 wishes," and basically hangs out with him. It looks like a very family-friendly movie where this kid sort of hangs out with with Jack
it is
Black.
Brilliant. Like,
It's a
and
great
he is
idea.
the perfect person
Perfect.
to cast in that part. When you sent me that, and I was watching the preview. I was like, how is this the first time? Because it's the exact same letters.
Yes.
How is this the first time somebody's come
Yeah.
up with that concept?
I love when there's a concept like that for something, and you're like, "Of course!" Like, how
It's
did nobody
absolutely
think of this?
perfect?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll be watching it.
Okay, this is something that you can order at Walmart now, and I think we may have talked about this in the past. It's a Christmas tree that you would put in, but it is very separated. If you can see here, Danny, which would allow you to put your Christmas village sort of inside of a tree.
Oh,
So there's basically like 6 levels. So you have like a little bit of branches,
Yep.
and then you have a shelf, and then you have a little bit of branches, and then a shelf,
fun.
and then kind of cascading up. And so if you wanted to do your Christmas village inside of this sort of tree,
Yeah.
you can do it. You can get it at Walmart.
really, really cool.
Also at Walmart is a 33-foot inflatable Santa Claus for $1,800.
What was the one? Didn't one of our Patreon people buy
They did.
one of like the 50 footers
They
or like
did.
75 footers
And
or
they sent
something
us a picture.
that
It's
uses
really
like
cool.
leaf blowers to like fill it up, which is amazing.
Yes.
If I wasn't worried about that thing catching wind and literally blowing
yeah.
across my town, I would
Yeah.
totally get one for my house.
Okay, this is a Countdown crew member, Greg Albin, posted that you can now get on Amazon a inflatable that is Mariah Carey in a sled pulled by 3 reindeer, but it's an inflatable Mariah
That
Carey.
is
which
hysterical.
pretty great.
We should add that to our like our gift guide because there's one that's just decor items. We should put that one in there.
Yeah.
For fun.
Okay, this is a fun, interesting thing that came up on my feed. There's a comedian who, Tommy something, who's this Irish comedian, and he was telling a story about Brenda Fricker. Now, Brenda Fricker is the actress who is in Home Alone 2.
The pigeon lady.
The homeless woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's also in Angels in the Outfield. And also,
And she also hosted Piers Morgan Tonight.
right? And she
a while.
won.
She won
Susan
America's
Boyle,
Got
yeah,
Talent. Or
Susan
Britain's
Boyle.
Got Talent. Yeah.
No, but the great Brenda Fricker,
Yes.
apparently had won an Oscar back in the 70s. And as is the custom in the Oscars, whoever wins it the year before, the female supporting awards it to the next person for male. And so this is back in the 70s. And she was backstage and she's about to go out. And Al Pacino is out there, and he's like super nervous. He's like, I'm in pain because I'm so nervous about if I'm gonna win or not.
really?
And she was like, it's okay, Al, you're okay. She goes, listen, I opened the envelope. You won, you got it. And he was like, seriously? And she's like, you got it. and she like made him feel better. And then she goes out. She had not opened the envelope.
Oh,
she opens it out. And she goes, and the Oscar goes to Joe Pesci. And so she like totally like ghosted Al Pacino and made him feel better for a brief moment.
my
But can you imagine the rage that he must have felt at old Brenda Fricker?
And it goes to Moonlight.
That's right.
Was that- was
Exactly. Okay, this is one that we've got to do.
Okay.
I love pickles.
Yeah, me too.
Big pickle fan.
Do you prefer dill, sweet, or do you?
Dill.
Okay.
Dill.
Bread and butter?
No.
Really?
No.
You don't like bread and butter?
No.
Bro, those are my favorite.
No. Dill. Dill all day.
Okay. All right. What's the deal with that?
A pickle Christmas tree. I heard it. Don't worry. I heard it. A pickle Christmas tree. So you get a piece of styrofoam
Dude.
that is, conical.
Yeah.
And then you get little pickles, and you put little tweezer or toothpicks into them, and then you just have them sort of cascading out.
You know what that would be great for?
What?
What we're counting down today.
That's
For a
right.
holiday party.
For our holiday parties, which
Right.
we are almost
We're
to.
almost there, folks.
We're
We
almost
promise.
there, I swear. Okay, I think you sent this to me, or Chris sent this to me. Maybe both of you did. Overlord has a new hat that has the great Yukon Cornelius
Yes.
on it, which I need to get this hat.
I sent that to you.
It's very cool.
They also have Rudolph, and they have like the stuffed elephant.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah.
There's like 4 different options,
Yeah.
and they even had like a Charlie Brown one that's him holding his little tree.
Oh.
I was like, come on.
Last memes and things here, and this is good. Sort of going off of that for the 60th anniversary. a special 75-minute edition of Rudolph will air on December 6th, 2024 on NBC. And Rudolph will be on NBC for the first time after more than 50 years.
Wait, it's been that long?
That's what it says.
So what was it airing on when we were kids? Was it CBS?
It must have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
'Cause
think so.
We've talked about that on the show before. Like for me, those signal moments were like when
Rudolph and Frosty.
Rudolph, Frosty, Santa
Yeah.
Claus is coming to town. That meant like the holidays
here.
were coming. And how cool that like now kids are going to be
Yeah.
introduced to that.
Yeah.
Which is
Very
really, really
exciting.
neat.
And an
Big
extended
fan.
version.
Ooh, I wonder what
So,
that means. Like
75 minutes.
new songs or
Maybe.
cut scenes?
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm so excited.
It's gonna be great.
We'll be tuning in.
But that was memes and things. Thank you for indulging me.
I've missed your memes and things so much, and I'm glad that they're back. Should we get to the countdown?
I think it's
It
about
feels
that.
like it's about that time, right? I mean, it's a little early, but usually I like to go another 20 longer before.
Oh, goodness gracious.
But let's hit that timpani.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All righty, folks. So, again, these are top 10 tips and tricks for a holiday party.
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like you're very well equipped for this list
I do love a
because
good...
you host
I do
a
host
holiday
a
party,
yearly Christmas
and
party.
we're going to be there.
You are? I'm excited.
My kids are coming.
It's going to be good.
They're super excited. So I feel like you might be more well equipped. So I'll be interested to see like what you think
Sure.
is important as someone who hosts a lot of parties, and me who hasn't hosted a ton but has attended
Sure.
a good amount. So I think this is going to be
a good
fun.
perspective.
Yeah.
Okay. My number 10. And let me just check here. 1, 2,
Did you number yours? Mine are unnumbered currently.
10. Yes. I
Okay.
did not number them. So
Oh.
I'm just going from the bottom to the
We've
top.
been doing that a lot more
I know.
on the show. It's just like letting it roll, letting it flow.
Okay. This is a new thing, which I'm very excited.
Okay.
I saw a game, again, not an ad. I got an ad for a game called Slip It In, which is a board game that you can get. And basically what it is it's a family party game
Okay.
where the version that you can get on Amazon is just random phrases, right? So people come over for a party, and when they show up, you give them like 5 little cards.
Okay.
They're little, about, small, about half an index card. And it might have a word like bougie, or it might say like squirrels are people too, or something like some random phrase or word,
Yeah.
right? And everybody gets 5, and you can hide them on yourself somewhere, right? And then throughout the evening, you have to slip that into conversation.
Oh, that's cool.
And if you get caught, then you have to add another card to your thing. If somebody accuses you incorrectly, they have to add a card to their list, and then it's whoever can get all of their cards played before the end of the night. So I think it's a really fun game for a party in general.
Yeah.
But at my Christmas party, we are going to do a Christmas version of this game.
So you're going to make up.
I'm going to make my own little
that's
cards
fun.
that all have interesting Christmas phrases or odd phrases that have to do something with the Christmas season.
Oh, that's fun.
So the main tip is to play a game, but this one in
Yeah.
particular, I'm very excited to play at this year's Christmas.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
It's going to be good.
All right. Now, will there be like versions for kids, or is this just going to be the adults? We'll play this game. Do you
I
think?
think it'll be family friendly.
Okay, love that. Great suggestion. Now I'm going to go a little something silly
Okay.
out of the gates here, and this is for me as somebody who loves going to Christmas parties. I love people who love hosting parties and are like the hostess with the mostest sort of vibe. To me, every great Christmas party has a certain snack option, and that's deviled eggs. I know you don't like them. I know they're not for you, but that's okay.
I'll bear with. Say
But here's the thing.
your thing.
And the reason I bring this up is that for people who love deviled eggs,
They get very excited.
love deviled eggs.
They do.
And so if you want to be a hero for the deviled egg lover in your life, think about it. What other time of year do you go to parties where deviled eggs are an option?
Do you think there's maybe a reason for that, Danny?
I don't think people appreciate it properly. I think that's the moral of the story. Well, we don't.
Emilio in a whole sea of deviled eggs over here.
Look at that.
It's so weird.
He loves them.
He
He's
must be a
huge,
big fan.
Huge fan. And I know we've talked about it on the show before, and I love that there's specific deviled eggs, serving trays and
Sure, yeah.
traveling trays. And I know it seems silly, and I know it's ridiculous. And really, I think what it comes down to is having fun snacks that maybe aren't things that you can normally get at parties throughout the year. So for me, when I think of the holiday season, one of the things that I look forward to most as a little side option is a great deviled egg. Sure. So it is silly, but to make it more general and appealing to everyone, is find some of those snacks that are very seasonal, that you can only typically get at the holiday season, and make sure those are available.
I do love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
So,
I think that's great.
Yep.
I mean, I don't like the deviled eggs part of it, but
should I bring them? Are you going to have them at your party?
No.
See, this is good for me to know. Do you know what's going to happen is if I were to bring deviled eggs, I guarantee there's going to be a few other people who are like, deviled eggs?
Sweet.
It's a great party, Eric.
Great party.
The hero for me, the game was fine. The game was fine. But the fact that you had a tray of deviled eggs
was just killer.
It was the hero of the evening.
Oh, my gosh. I love that. Okay. My number 9 is going to be have a gift swap. This is a specific type of gift swap.
Okay.
Which is where everyone has to bring something that they already own.
Ooh.
So it's a helpful way to get rid of knickknacks around your house, and you can find what is that fun, weird thing that maybe you got gifted at one point, or it's something that's been on your mantelpiece that you're like, we don't even know where we got that thing.
Yeah.
Or it's a small painting that you're like, we don't like this anymore. It's been in the house for years, but I don't want to get rid of it. It's a fun way to get some of those odd little knickknacks that you have sitting around your house. Everybody brings something. So the rule is you can't go out and buy some sort of gift. It has to be something that you already own.
That's fun.
But that you're willing to part ways with. And then you do a sort of, grab bag or however you want to deal the swapping, however you want to deal with that, you can do. But that's the idea, is to have a gift swap that is the requirement is everybody has to already have owned the thing.
I want to add on to that real quick because I've never seen this at a party. What if there was somebody who was the designated wrapper and everyone brought their gift unwrapped?
Sure.
So that way nobody knew what any of the gifts were.
That's kind of
under
fun.
the tree. That would sort of spice it up, right?
That is pretty good.
And that leads to my number 9.
Okay.
Which is going to be when you do a gift exchange, be very clear about the rules or guidelines for the gift experience.
That's a great tip.
Because we've all been to that party.
A great tip.
Where you go out and you find like a record player for like 20, because like say it's like $25 or less.
You find it on clearance or something.
And you find it on clearance, you're like, I'm going to be the hero of this party. And you bring like a really cool record player and then you leave with a piece of junk.
Yes.
Because somebody didn't understand the rules of the party. And the gift exchange specifically.
I think it's the rules of what are we bringing.
Yes.
And also what are the rules in the exchanging of it. If you're doing a white elephant kind of thing where you can steal gifts, like be very clear.
You're stealing twice and then it's off.
Right.
Or is it like rock, paper, scissors where it's like the third steal is the one where now it's off
the
table. I went to a Christmas party years ago. We used to do this with some of my closest friends in LA, and unfortunately we don't do it anymore. We call it the Valley Christmas Party. And we would do a gift exchange every single time. And this was a silly group of people. Most of the people in that group had met at the American Academy of Dramatic Arts, so like they're very big and boisterous and theatrical. Most people brought really nice gifts. Mm-hmm. One guy brought a massive 2.5-foot ear, and accompanied with that was a poster of the human anatomy.
Yeah, I mean, I
while somebody else brought like a really nice bottle of wine,
right,
and a DVD for a date night in.
Yes.
And so all I'm saying is be clear about the rules.
Listen, okay, this is a great topic for conversation.
Okay.
Though, because I think you are totally correct. I think that, yes, you should be clear. But isn't it kind of fun when you've got that one rogue gift that is nobody wants,
Yeah.
you know? It kind of adds a nice little spice to the gift.
I do agree. Maybe the rule should be that the rogue gift is added by the host.
Maybe that's fair.
So that way they get to sort of determine what that thing
what
is.
level that is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because rather than everyone else being like, well, am I going to get a good gift?
Right.
Or did Jack decide to bring that joke gift again?
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But at the same time, it does make for great stories. Because I wouldn't be sharing this right now if my buddy didn't give the 2.5-foot ear and the human anatomy poster.
That's true.
But be clear about the rules. Is
I like
really the
that.
moral
I
of
like
the story.
that. I like
Yeah,
that.
that's my number 9.
Okay, my number 8 is going to be sing. You got to
Hey.
sing at a good party.
Yeah.
A good party, we'll talk later about having a good playlist and music playing and stuff like that. But
No spoilers.
No spoilies. But get people singing. Get people. A lot of my things are about activities. You got to get people doing stuff. Having people come to a party is great, but if you don't give people a focused activity to do, which I have more on my list coming up later, people fall into their like, well, I know these couple people, and you just start talking to the people that you know, and it can kill the cohesiveness of a party. So anything that is an activity, I think, is a big key.
Agreed.
And in regards to singing, have a carol sing along. If somebody plays piano, they don't even have to be good. To just can play some chords. Sitting around a piano and singing carols is great. Doing the 12 Days of Christmas is really fun when you give people like, you're going to be, 2 turtle doves, 5 golden rings. That's a really fun thing to do. Or I would even recommend, if you're like, hey folks, we're going to have a short listening party. It's only 36 minutes long. If you've not heard the brilliance of It's a Cow Christmas, we're all going to sit down on the couch and listen to it. And then those people will remember it, and they will share that love with the people around them. Now,
That's
I say
brilliant.
that somewhat jokingly, but it really is true. Anytime I've said to somebody, I know this album called It's a Cow Christmas, and they're like, what? But then you sit and listen to it. They love it, and they see the fun and the joy and the silliness of it. And then it's just a fun activity to do. So
I love that.
So get people singing and get the music into their bones in a party.
Music is key. And I will share, one of our Patreon members posted this in the group recently, that It's a Cow Christmas is now available on Apple Music.
And it's like 15,000 listens.
14,200 of which are you.
That's right.
That's dedication.
Absolutely.
You should totally do an It's a Cow Christmas themed Christmas party one year. And you know what you put on your front door. Your new
My thing from
Simon.
Absolutely.
I love that. But you are right. Like there's one Christmas party I went to with some musical theater friends with years ago, and one of the guys who was there was a composer and like conductor, and he just sat around the piano, and people were like, "Oh, let's do something,"
Yeah.
and it gives everyone a chance to sort of like, I don't know, sort of pick the playlist, which is kind of fun. I love that. All right. I'm bringing this one in at number 8 because I don't want to wait another week to share it with people.
Sure.
And it's something that you're really smart about, and I want to give you some flowers here, which is get your invite out early. The key here is that this way, other people don't commit themselves to other events before yours.
And it gets busy.
It gets very busy, not just with other Christmas parties that your friends might be hosting, but company parties, pageants, just living life in general. And you're always great. You sent yours out like 3 weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I was like, I don't have anything else on the calendar. So if you want to ensure that people are going to be there at your party, which obviously you want people to be there because you're throwing a party in the first place, get your invite out early. That one's pretty straightforward.
And it's so easy. Oh, I thought your North Pole was about to fall. It's so easy to make invites now on like Canva or Evite or whatever. Don't get too crazy about it. Pick a date, pick a time. You can send another email with like if you were going to do a game or if you're going to do themes or if you're going to ask people to bring drinks or foods or something like that. You can do that later. But save the date in the same way that a wedding does. Like just get it on people's calendars.
100%.
Very smart. Very smart.
Yeah, you guys are brilliant about that every year.
Thank you. Okay, my number 7 is going to be have a signature drink.
Ooh.
Have a signature drink.
That's smart.
It's special. It's fun to come up with a fun drink.
Yep.
Pro tip, water it down. If it is an alcoholic drink, water it down, because sometimes a good, fun holiday drink, people can be excited about, like, oh, that's great sangria.
I can't
or
even
great,
taste the...
Yeah, I can't even taste it.
Yeah.
That's how it should
a problem.
be.
Yeah.
Right. You want to make it so it's not, if it is an alcoholic drink, that it's not too strong because people are like, oh my gosh, that's really strong. But also, if it is going to be kind of sweet and the alcohol is covered, water it down so that you don't get out of control guests.
Yeah. I love that.
It's true.
That's really good. I'm going to throw this one here, though I feel like it could be higher up on the list, but I want to introduce it now because people are starting to plan their parties, and maybe this might be a helpful one for them, is to come up with a theme for your party. This is twofold, right? One, everybody loves a great theme.
Yeah.
2, this really simplifies people's process in terms of determining what they're going to wear to your party. Sometimes when you throw a Christmas party and you're like, holiday dress, you're like, what does that even mean? Like, does that mean I wear a suit with like a Santa tie? Right. But come up with something thematic where it could be like, here's a few examples that I love. I went to a Christmas party years ago where everyone dressed up as their favorite Christmas movie character.
Great one.
And that could run the gamut.
Yeah.
I remember I went with, you could do like tandem outfits. Like I went with a couple friends and we were Alvin, Simon, and Theodore from, the exactly. And one of us had a hula hoop. One of us had, whatever the other things were, which is great. You could do Victorian themed if you wanted to go classy.
That's fun.
You could do something letter themed, like just every costume has to start with the letter B or something like that, where someone's coming up as a balsam tree or whatever. Like you could have a lot of fun with it. So I think coming up with a theme is great. One, because you get to empower people to be creative with their costume, but you're also giving them clear directive in terms of what the expectation is from them in terms of what they wear.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's a really good one. You may even hear it later on my list.
Okay.
All right, my number 6 is going to be photo ops.
Yes.
Photo ops. Have an ability, have a section of your party, your space, whatever, that's good for photos. Now, if you're doing like a big company, Christmas party, spend the money to get one of those photo booths. They're so easy, and nowadays, I think you can get them for relatively cheap, and they'll print out stuff. They'll email people, the pictures right away. But do something where people can get a photo memory of the event. Also, do some like fun TikTok trends as a party group, right? Like find some dance and get everybody when they walk through the door to do whatever dance it is. I don't know what the dances are, but like something where then afterwards you can create a quick little video that has each person that's come through the party, and they each get featured for a brief moment. You post it up on social. Everybody feels kind of cool. They can all tag each other in it. There's a fun one that you can do where if you get a cardboard box, just hollow out the back of it and set it on a table or something, and every person sort of like leans in through the box.
Oh, fun.
Right? And then because you have a clear edge, then you can, with Canva, just basically make it so it looks like a big corrugated box, and each person is in a little box, sort of looking through. Very easy to do, fun little keepsake that everybody could have.
Yeah.
Also, if you're not going to do something like that, at least make it so that people can share photos and encourage people to share photos. There's apps like Kalulu, or even doing just like a shared photo album in Apple, if you have an iPhone, where everybody can kind of put their pictures together. And the last part about photos that I would encourage, stop taking pictures. Or maybe not stop, but you don't need as many of the pictures of like, hey, everybody look over here, and everybody looks and smiles.
Yeah.
You don't need those. Maybe get one or two, get a big group picture. Spend the time, especially if you're the host, just walk around and take pictures of people talking.
Candid shots.
Candid shots are going to be so much better. They're going to look cooler. It will give you more of a sense of what the evening felt like. You'll catch people in like mid-stories where they're animated, they're laughing. Those will be the pictures that you want. And if you really want the event to look classy, shoot them in black and white.
Ooh.
On your iPhone, just go to the black and white setting, or after you take your pictures, set them to black and white, and take them. Also, another photo tip, don't take them always exactly parallel to the ground. Like,
okay.
Tilt your camera a little
Have
bit.
some fun with it. Yeah.
Get a weird angle. Come from the bottom. Come from the top. Tilt your camera a little to the right, a little to the left. Those pictures in black and white will make you feel that you were at a Vanity Fair party or something, and you'll be like, man, that was such an awesome night, as opposed to one picture where everybody's like, everybody look here, and everybody has a forced smile, and they're like, yay.
100%.
Trust me, photos will help you remember the night in a great way.
I always love a low-angle cinematic.
Absolutely.
They're always great. You know, when you were talking about the little, like, leaning through like a box or a window, I don't know if anyone has ever done this, but I had this visual of like creating an advent calendar where everything inside of it is a picture of somebody from your party the last year. Or could you gift those to people where they could create their own advent to have? Wouldn't that be pretty neat?
That's a great idea.
Yeah. Those are great tips. And before I share my number 6, if you guys are not subscribed already and you've made it this far, then clearly you should be subscribing to the show because you love the nonsense that's happening here. And if you're not following us on social media, you can do so. We are at Christmas Countdown Show on Instagram, Threads, TikTok, all the places. And if you want to see all the silliness that's been happening here today, see our beautiful real Christmas trees that are behind us, which are amazing. And again, want to remind you guys go to realchristmastreeboard.com and use their locator tool so you can find a lot nearby you. Also, if you're in the Southern California area, please come check out Holiday Experience, which is where we are recording our show. You can follow them at holiday_experience24.
That's right.
On Instagram. It's a really cool place. I brought my kids here over the weekend, and they were obsessed. Like the really cool. They loved. They kept running through the tunnel of lights over there, which is like there's lights beside you, over you. It's just like super super cool. So make sure you check that out. And if again, if you want to see what's happening here, you can do that. YouTube.com/Countdown Network, and you can see all the fun that's happening here in our studio. All right, number 6 for me is going to be. I'm going to go off of what you were just sharing.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're talking all about real things, right, here on this episode, and like tactile things with a Christmas tree. I would get disposable cameras.
Oh, great idea.
And give them out as like party favors.
Yeah.
But encourage people to take the photos while they're at the party. Because it's required, right? Because
maybe they don't even get to take them home.
They have to leave them behind.
They leave them behind. You develop them all, and then you can send them to everybody.
And you can digitize them and send them out to everybody.
That's a great idea.
Because you're going to see the perspective of everybody, right? Like you as the host, you're like going around and sort of seeing what's happening. But like a kid at a party, like I've loved doing this. I think I told you with Emerson is like I bought her disposable cameras because she loves taking photos, but I bought them for her for our trips to the Disney parks.
Yes.
Because and what
do they think is photo worthy?
Exactly. But also like, what does Disneyland look like from their perspective?
Totally.
And in the beginning, when I first gave her the camera, I had to really stop myself from like coaching her, like, no, baby, like kind of level out your plane here. You want it to be nice. I'm like, stop, Danny.
Let her do it what she does. Yeah.
Just let her capture. If she wants to take 9 pictures of the jumping jellyfish ride, let her do it.
Yeah.
And you're going to see so many little details of your party that you would not have seen otherwise, because what one person thinks is photo worthy or something they want to remember from that evening may not be yours, but it might be really great and memorable.
And especially with the disposable cameras, when you only have 24 pictures to take or whatever, you do get a little more discerning in like, what do I want to take these 24 pictures of? That's a great idea.
100%. You're so much more picky.
Yeah.
Like we're so spoiled with our phones where it's like, all right, hold on, you were blinking.
Yeah.
Take that again.
Yep.
You're going to frame those photos a lot better. You're going to be, they're just more valuable.
They're better.
Yeah.
I love it. This was a good episode.
I loved it.
I like it. And we got 5 more each great tips and tricks for your next holiday party. But we are going to wrap this one up. Thank you for sticking with us, folks. We know we went a little long today, but we're going to close this one how we always do, by saying a very heartfelt Merry Christmas.
And happy holidays.
We will see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Peace.